So we were super lucky when we got back from Venice because Logan Lucky was still playing in theatres, which is a great thing because we were super excited for this film. So it's great that we got to see it.
I guess 2017 is Logan Lucky with 2 Logan films.
Logan, what did you do?
I was let go for liability reasons involving insurance.
Logan, you still have time.
Alrighty, so Logan Lucky is directed by Steven Soderbergh after he said he was retiring from filmmaking. Well, anyway, he's back and he directed this film and he also wrote it under a pseudo name, I believe.
An alias?
An alias named Rebecca Blunt, who doesn't actually exist because it was Steven Soderbergh. But anyway, he wrote and directed this film. It stars Daniel Craig, Channing Tatum, Riley Keough, Adam Driver,
Katherine Waterson,
Hilary Swank. It's got an absolutely all-star cast here, and it is an all-star film because this film is all-American. It's set in the backdrop of a NASCAR race where we have 2 brothers trying to pull off a bank robbery.
Or a heist. It's a heist.
It's kind of a heist, yeah.
It's a heist, it's a heist movie. And this is a movie that we never had any doubt that was going to be great. Obviously, just before we went away, the reviews started coming out confirming that it was great, and we were like, we are trapped in a country that's not showing this movie! So it's so good to finally get back and be able to see it, and of course, we can confirm that even we thought it was great. And I think a lot of that comes, first of all, from the fact that this is, much like Baby Driver was earlier this year, it's just kind of an inventive, original movie with great characters, great writing, great pacing. It's really smart, and it's just got a fantastic flow to it. It's really just a film that's about being kind of entertaining, and I think that really works in its favour.
And just simply so goddamn well executed as well. I mean, Soderbergh has been around for a while now, and he's directed that many films and, you know, delved into TV as well. And he just knows exactly what he's doing behind the camera. Yeah, things here aren't like overly complex, but at the same time they kind of are because of how well executed this film is in its simplicity as well. And it was shot, you know, on a budget that was quite reasonably small as well. And I mean, like, it looks quite cheap at times, but in a good way, in a good fun way, which adds a lot of flavor.
It adds a lot of heart to it, I think. Even Soderbergh makes his own little in-joke by calling this film Ocean's 7-Eleven. So you kind of get the idea of what this movie is. And when I say this movie's got great characters, I think a lot of the kind of, what makes this movie so good all kind of comes from there. They're just really clear, well-defined characters with well-defined backgrounds, motivations, and desires, and I think that's kind of where the story's kind of energy generates from, is the fact that you kind of understand who all these different people are, so when you put them together you understand the kind of bang that is created. And I think that's probably the person to start with is Daniel Craig's Joe Bang, because Daniel Craig
bangs in every single word. Like, I mean, just in everything, he just bangs. I mean, like, Daniel Craig to me is in the top 5 actors in the world, and I'll stand by that and defend it until I'm dead, because the guy is just incredibly talented. And the thing is, you know, he always presents a performance on screen that is so nuanced and, you know, so particular, but just looks so simple and so natural as well. He's an incredibly skilled performer, and just here once again, obviously his voice, his accent here is absolutely fantastic. It's hilarious when you're listening to him. But just when you watch Daniel Craig, really pay attention to his eyes, pay attention to where he's looking on screen. He gives you absolutely everything you need to know. He doesn't hide anything whatsoever. And it's just, he's one of the most entertaining actors on earth.
And it's so strange as well, because when we were watching the trailer, we're like, he seems really, really over the top. And then the longer you kind of watch the movie, the more natural he becomes. He just is, like, has fully become this person. He's a fully thought out human being. And we've got to say his comedic timing here is fantastic, especially when he's paired with Channing Tatum, who is excellent here as well, and specifically Adam Driver, who again is just continuing to show that he is again one of the greatest upcoming working actors today, because he just has this incredible heart, this incredible sincerity, and again, his comedic timing as well is absolutely insane. There wasn't a single time that he did anything that was supposed to be for comedic effect in this film that we didn't laugh at. Yeah. He really just nails it.
Just his range is just absolutely superb. I mean, how much this guy's done with the amount of directors already at his age is, like, unbelievable. And of course, Riley Keough here as well. She's just showing how talented of a actress she is. Like, she can really just jump into any single film and give an absolutely ham performance and kill it, you know, and match it with Daniel Craig or Adam Driver and even Channing Tatum. Like, it's superb. And of course, supporting cast here as well is terrific. Sebastian Stan pops up for a little bit. He was very good. So is Seth MacFarlane as well. He was fine. Hilary Swank comes in and, you know, she's fine. You know, even Katherine Waterson gets a little cameo, and she was great. Like, and even like the smaller supporting roles, everyone was just they just did
the
their
child
job.
actor that plays Channing Tatum's daughter was also fantastic.
Yeah.
It's just you get there was a lot of work put into this film from everyone involved to actually make it kind of just. It's just a really kind of sincere movie, and when we're looking at the direction as well, it's got this kind of whip smart type direction where it kind of just not only does the film have this really, really excellent pacing and flow to it, but in terms of the actual structure of scenes, it just feels like Soderbergh knew exactly how to get the most out of kind of every interaction. If it's really awkward, he'll play it out in a wide so it becomes kind of uncomfortable and you get the characters are way in over their head with stuff. And when he needs to go into a close-up and deliver a conversation that goes back and forth, it just manages to have the right amount of intensity or honesty or heart or emotion that it needs, just because he kind of knows how to frame stuff. And I think some people have had the misconception that this film's kind of like shit-talking America and shit-talking the type of characters it's dealing with. But I think in a way it's actually almost kind of like a love letter to America and to America's honesty and sincerity. And the fact that kind of these people are wearing their hearts on their sleeves and just doing the absolute best they can to get by and to love their family and whatnot. So I think it's actually just a really genuine movie that uses kind of heightened characters, which like I don't think any people in real life are this stupid, but like it's dealing with that type of thing in a really loving and respectful way, I think.
Yeah, well, even if some of them are kind of like come off quite simple-minded as such, they're well-defined and they have a big heart. So like you can see them as being kind of quite real, and they're not like he's not portraying them in a bad way whatsoever.
And this movie really is not only a film that we found like wickedly entertaining and insanely funny, it's just a film that kind of deals as well with the joy of making films. I think it's watching a director who's just having a lot of fun because he's confident in what he's making, and that really translated to us. The film just has this massive amount of energy that comes like from the soundtrack as well, not just the performers. It just kind of has this great overall aesthetic that kind of comes together to create a really entertaining experience.
And if you still have access to Logan Lucky, we highly recommend it because this film is just so goddamn entertaining. It's an easy, fun film to enjoy, and it's just so goddamn well executed. Anyway, I'm landing an 8.2 on this one.
And for me, I think the film is fantastic. I really enjoyed it. There's nothing really wrong with it. It just isn't that kind of next level type film. So I'm giving this one an 8.8. I think it's just a film we're lucky to have in 2017. So that was our review of Logan Lucky. Have you seen it yet?
Did you like it?
Did you hate it?
Did you like this video?
Of course you did.
Crave more banter.
If so, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel down there somewhere.
And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter, all at Breaking Banter.